Wait, it's spinning.
It doesn't need to be a perfect video. Is it started?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we are gonna put our spouts on. So I threw my spout earlier, but I heat gunned it, so it's a little bit stiffer. So kind of like adding a handle, it needs to stiffen up before you attach it. But there is a lot of clay right here, please chill, that I need to carve off before I actually attach it to my pot, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do is I am going to get a lot of the clay cleaned out of the bottom. Please stop talking. So I'm just gonna take a needle tool and I'm just carving out what I know I don't need. And it's pretty soft because I heat gunned, but you can start kind of seeing the shape of the spout a little bit better. You can take a loop tool and do the same thing if you want. So just kind of carving out the thickness and making sure your spout is not super thick at the bottom. I'm still gonna cut off quite a bit of this extra stuff, but I kind of want to see where it attaches. So I bent my spout up a little bit, so it's gonna attach right about there. So I want to cut a good 1.5 inches off probably. I can do that with a wire tool or I could do it with a sharp knife. It's up to your kind of comfort level. I'm gonna probably do it with a wire tool because I can do one quick pull across, but if you're not very good with this, you might want to do a cutting. So I just trimmed that off. Now I can kind of get a better sense of where it will attach. That still feels a little bit heavy to me. So I would spend some time kind of carving out the extra thickness so it doesn't add a ton of weight to yours. But I'm still leaving kind of a thicker edge so I can slip and score it on. Does that make sense? So every once in a while I kind of suss it out. Where do I want that? Now I'm wanting like a little bit of an angle on it because I want to tilt this up. We talked about the spout being above the lid and I want that to happen. So I'm gonna say right about here, I want to cut more off this top so that it fits a little bit better. So I just take this like one step at a time and carve away until I get it kind of where I want it to settle on my teapot. You can always carve more away, but you can't really add on very well. So just doing a little bit at a time, I feel helps a lot. So there's, I think, looks okay. I'm gonna start attaching that. Now what I do is I take my needle tool and I trace this circle that I have. So that I have a circle on my teapot. And this is where I add some drainage to my teapot. So instead of cutting the entire thing out, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna poke holes in there as like a strainer for my teapot. I don't know if you're aware of this, but in the tool bucket over there, there's a hole cutter. It looks just like a circle like that. And I'm just going to go right in the center and I twist as I push through. And I'm just gonna cut 5 to 6 holes so that the water can come through, but I'm not cutting the whole thing off. I like to do kind of like a flower pattern, like one in the middle and then I surround it by holes. They need to be big enough, so don't use a needle tool because the glaze can clog that up. So that's why we use this hole tool. And I'm just going to kind of smooth those out. You can take the lid off and smooth them on the inside too because probably some clay got in your inside. But I'm just trying to do this a little bit quicker. So I have my straining part right there before I attach. Then I can go ahead and slip and score. If I were doing this for real, I would probably refine my shape a little bit more, but I'm just trying to do kind of a quick demo, and I'm slipping and scoring inside my circle because I know it's gonna fit right there. Add some water. I'm just pressing that in, and then I'm blending that with my finger. Your teapot does not need this kind of bold, like I left quite a bit of my spout on there as an extra kind of detail, like a little bit of a different form. You could just attach like a skinny cylinder like right to your pot, but sometimes it's a little bit easier to attach a larger surface area. So it's kind of up to you what shape you want. I'm checking for symmetry, so I need to kind of turn it as I do this and make sure it's really nicely slipped and scored. I'm looking that my top of my teapot spout is above my lid, and it is. So really all I have now is I have my body, I have my lid, I have my spout, and then we just need to pull a handle, let that firm up, and attach it. So we are pretty close to the end on demo here. Sound good? All right. Can someone stop that?